know that the reason why you are constantly out of cash and broke, such that you're unable to buy those things you love, let alone talking about investment, because you are constantly looking for basic things? Not like you're not working but you're not making enough money to cater for your need. Not like you don't have what you are selling but you are not making enough sales and profits to actually meet your ends meet, let alone investing. If that sounds like you, then this recording is for you, because your solution is here. I'll walk you through the matrix on how you can scale up whatever you are doing now. My name is Onyechi Chukwudi Paul, and you are welcome to my podcast. Once again, you're welcome to Chukwudi Onyechi podcast, where we talk about everything that help you grow, maintain and make money by leveraging on our sales, business and investment content. And also we have a mastermind platform which is called Money Profits. And in Money Profits we focus on enabling and ensuring that all our members have a profitable money making business, such that if you are new in our group and you don't have any business that is giving you money, or you are working, you are looking for a side hustle that gives you money, what we do is that we enroll you in our free business development course, where you understand the dynamics in business startup or sales and marketing. All right, another thing we do in our Money Profit group is that once every month we bring in mentors of a certain business industry that is doing very well, and we take the whole of that month after the mentor might had actually educated us how the product works and how profiting the business is. We take the rest of that month analyzing all the dynamics and metrics for setting up such profitable business, and also for those that will be interested to invest in that business, we also see how we can walk them through and see how they could invest they could start with a basic amount of money to invest, because we want every of our members to have several businesses they run just to have a steady cash flow in other streams. And sometimes what we do is that we open up the floor for those of us that are ready to buy small businesses for them to register, because sometimes what we do is that we open up the floor for those that are willing and ready to buy small business to register as the opportunity comes. And also we educate and train on investments to give our members adequate financial knowledge to edge them in making proper and adequate financial decision in whatever form of investment portfolio they are actually putting their fund. Without further ado, I'll be going to the main discussion of today, and today we'll be looking at sales, a game of number. Sales is a game of number. So I will start with using an instance just to buttress my points, to bring every of my listener on the same page. Now let's say you run a business. Now this is a physical business now, and in your physical business you have about footwork, people that pass the front of your shop in a day. You have like 20 persons, or let's say 50 persons pass the front of your shop every day. So out of those 50 people, it's only 20 have interest in your product. They see what you are selling, they recognize what you are selling, and in their mind they feel, okay, maybe one day when I have need for this, I will come and buy. And at the end of the day, only 10 out of those 20 that had actually in their mind indicated interest for your product, or possibly had come to make inquiry, that end up buy. You see, out of 50 that saw your shop, right, about 20 made inquiry and 10 end up purchasing. Now, so imagine if your shop is in a strategic location where over 200 persons sees your shop every day. 200 persons have a fisher encounter with your shop every day, and out of those 200 persons, for example, an approximate of 100 persons come around to make inquiry, and out of those 100 persons, you see that about 50 end up buying your products. You see that now, this physical outlet. Then I'm going to use online sales to also buttress my points. Now let's say you have a business you sell online and you run ads, and in your ad a minimum of 50 people should chat you up, right, when you use 2,000 naira to fund your ad, I guess, right, if it's well converting, right? So you have like a minimum of 50%. Now just use that for example. Now you funded your ad with 2,000 naira, and out of those, from the 2,000 naira fund you made, about 50 or 40 persons came to your inbox to chat you up showing interest, and out of those 50 to 40 persons, you were able to sell to one or two of them, right? So for every ads you create, you're able to sell. For every 2,000 naira you fund, you have about 40 to 50 conversion on your DM, and you sell about 1 or 2. Now to 10x your sales with the right targeting, if you increase your ad fund such that you have at least a minimum of 500 persons sending DM to you every day, making inquiry and showing interest in your product. At least if you were selling a minimum of 1 or 2 products, when 50 persons was chatting you up on your DM showing interest, now that you have 500 interested people chatting you up, you should be able to close at least a minimum of 20 sales per day. And of course, you know, the profit from a sales, from one sale, should be able to cover the whole costs for funding your ad. You see now that sales is actually a game of number. The more inquiry, the more interested people that have facial interface, that sees, that are aware of your products, the high possibility for more sales, right? So now we'll be looking at 3 categories of customers, right? And then this you should understand to help you categorize human personality and psychology placement when you are dealing with customers, seeing that you have a lot of people you are interacting with on the online space with regards to your product. So number 1 is prospects. Now prospects is those that have come to see your product, they know what you are selling, right, but they're not ready to buy now. They like your products, right, they have interest, but they are not ready to buy at the moment. They are not ready to buy at the moment. Those are prospects. Now number 2 or categories of customers are leads. You should have been hearing of this before. Leads are those, you know, in economics we understand that demand is the willingness and the ability to purchase a certain item, right? So leads are those that are willing and are able. They have what it requires. They have the money, right, to make that purchase. Unlike prospect, all right, you see an item that is high ticket product, let's say a product, let's say for example a car that is over 5 million naira, and you see someone that likes the car, but the person's monthly take home is around 200,000 naira, and what the person is having in his own account is not even up to 500,000 naira. You see that now, although the person likes the product, the persons have interest in the product, but the person is not able, doesn't have the ability to make that purchase. That is why they are under prospective category, right? Except you have other low ticket products that they will purchase. But now, since we are looking at car in the content, right, looking at the person's budgets and looking at the car in question, now there is no way you can actually match them up, right? So you see that the person is actually in the aspect of prospective. Then number 2, which is lead. Now this is the person, like I said, that is willing and is able to make the purchase of that item, but for some reason there could be some delay or bank issue, or I'm not around, or I'm expecting my paycheck. The person have what it takes to make that purchase. These are leads. Then the third categories are customers. These are those that had already purchased already from you. These are the people that are referred to as customer. Now, haven't understand this or haven't explained this, I will use these 3 terms to actually illustrate a very, very powerful business model that I came to understand of recent, and it has 10x my sales, it has 10x my profit, right? For now, I don't really pay too much interest. I've been hearing people talking about it. I've been hearing business professionals emphasizing on it, but I pay little or no interest in some of those things because I felt, how would this make any difference? Man, when I start applying it, it made a whole lot of difference. Even when they don't want to buy, because I have actually engaged that principle, they feel bad for not buying. They felt like they owe me to buy. They felt like they are indebted to buy, and sometimes they go out of their way to refer somebody to close that indebtedness in their hearts. They refer somebody that is willing and ready to buy. If this particular business model is properly engaged, you will see it's 360-degree turnaround in your sales. Alright, so this business model is a high sales performer business strategy. Then if you properly engage this business model, you'll be amazed at how you will 10x your sales. And it is very, very simple. It is just 3 steps, and those 3 steps requires you to be detailed in order for you to achieve maximal results. So number 1, all right, talking about this business model, number 1 is getting customers to know you. Now it is very, very important. Now this is what top advertisement, this is what top advertising agencies understand, and that is why you see they constantly invest in advertisements just to get their products or services in the face of people. They spend millions of dollars to actually get this achieved, just to imprint their brand in the mind of people, such that if for any reason people consider getting an item relating to their brand, the first thing that comes to the mind of people is their brand. Some top brand even go as far to ensure that some of this their brand advertisement is emotionally appealed to people, because they understand that people easily remember things that are emotionally appealing to them. So they introduce nudity, right, in their advertisements so that it grabs the full attention of their audience. Now it is very, very powerful. Knowledge of the product is key, right? So number one strategy here is that your customer should know you, and there are different ways you can get that achieved, right? Through constantly posting content, through email marketing, through Facebook ad. The whole essence is getting your product or services in the face and on the mind of people, that people know you and identify you with that particular engagement. Now it is very, very important you know that. So number 2 is that people like you. Number 1 is that they know you. Number 2 is that they like you. So you want to move people from the phase of having a knowledge of you and the kind of product or services your company render to the place of liking you. So number 2 is that the customer needs to like you. You need to find the way, the strategies that you can use to achieve this, to move customer from having knowledge of you and your products and whatever services you are rendering to a point where they start liking you, they start liking your products. You know, have you ever wondered why you run an online sales and customers saw prospects saw your product and they actually made an inquiry and they had interest, and let's say they wanted to buy and you had to deliver it to the customer would insist that they cannot pay until they receive the product. Even money for transport they wouldn't want to release. Even to release 100 naira for, they will say lie, you have to bring the product first before we make any form of payment. And then you see another customer that can transfer as much as 500,000 without even seeing you. Not like the former customer wasn't having. Not that this customer that is transferring 500,000 without even seeing you for an online products, right, without even seeing you, not because the customer have a lot. The other customer that had refused to pay transport might even have more than this one that is paying 500k. The difference is that this one that is paying 500k have come to like you, right, have come to like you, like your company, like your person. It is very important to understand that why the other one is just skeptical, is not sure, let me just see it, I'm not sure, anything can happen, I don't want to be scammed, things like that. So one way you can get your customer to like you is educating your customer about your products. Customer loves to be properly informed and well educated about the product's knowledge of whatever they are buying, right? There are some products that are high ticket products, and such as those products need proper education, especially when it has to do with gadgets. Maybe customer wants to buy, let's say for example, a solar product. Now it's not everyone that is solar inclined, right, and it's something they need, right, in their apartment. Now you see customers, they come to some people's DM, and the next thing people do is they just drop flyers. They drop the flyer, the picture of their different solar packages, and then they drop price attached to it, and they start waiting for payments. It's quite funny. They don't, or rather they'll do one or two write-up, this is the side, just here and there and stuff, and the customer is not really understanding what is happening. So customer loves when they are educated, about a certain product. Yes, they love it when the seller takes his or her time to educate them on how the product works. They want to know and understand, have a full and proper knowledge of whatever they are acquiring, such that they will be able to make proper use of it. Customer feels grateful for giving them knowledge on how the product is being used and how they can fully maximize the potential of the product. Now I will use solar for example. Now a customer comes to your DM that wants to buy solar, and you just send flyers and handy here and there, and maybe price or something, without communicating, without educating the customers on how the product works and every other thing, right? Now imagine someone that takes you this sort of time to educate the customer on how the product works, the benefit of the product, the benefit of the product, comparing it with other competitive solar products, right? The customer starts seeing the advantage of what he's getting, the pleasure of what he stands to enjoy. Now that's pleasure of what he stands to enjoy, and the satisfaction knowing that, okay, this thing I'm buying is not try and luck. I know this thing I'm buying with what I've gotten, with the information I've gotten, right? This and this and this is what I'm driving. I'm going to drive from this and this satisfaction is what I'm going to drive from this particular product. Customer love it, and they feel somehow indebted to you for actually granting them that level of knowledge, especially if it is actually an information about the products that could help them to effectively maximize the products. They love you so well, and they really want to pay you back by ensuring that they buy that product. They might not buy immediately, but they will end up buying eventually. If for any reason they don't have money to buy, they will end up referring somebody that will buy. If they have anybody that shows interest in such a product, the first person that comes to their mind is you, because somehow you've implanted something in them, right? You've actually connected to their emotional bank, which is knowledge, all right? Because the knowledge remains with them. Anytime the understanding of that particular product comes to their mind, they remember you. They know they cannot go to the market and be cheated because you've given them an adequate knowledge of how to spot original, of how to spot fake, of how to know how long it will last, of how to do the wattage and the voltage calculation, right, on how to spot original battery. All those things, they know that to an extent they've gotten that knowledge, and that knowledge they know will guide them and help them in making a proper decision in acquiring the product in the future. Now these are what you've achieved by educating them, and most importantly, they see you as an expert in that product. They see you as one that knows what you are doing. They see you as one that's an expert. Number 2 way you can actually get your customer to like you is customization. Customers always love when a product is customized for them, such that they feel like the owner of the products have them in mind. They feel like you have them in mind. You know what they need. You know what suits them, right? They feel this close connection with you, right, without them telling you much about them, right? They feel this close connection and they want to relate with you more. Some of them feel like they should just open up themselves and start relating their family problems with you, and stuff, because they feel this deep connection, right, for you to be able to look at them and customize, all right, something that actually suits or solve their problem, not general problem, relatively their problem. Now customization is another way. Now the third way to get customers to like you is listening. It is very, very important. Listen. Have you ever seen a customer that maybe a competitive product, maybe saw you selling a competitive product they've purchased, then maybe come slide to your DM and like, okay, start complaining about that other company and stuff, and you listen very well and you took your time to educate that customer. The customer that was complaining about that same product of that company end up buying your products, right? End up buying your products still, right? It is all about connecting with them deeply. They tend to like you. They fall in love with you. It is very, very important that you listen to your customer when they are hearing that complaint. When they are sharing their complaint, you listen to them, and sometimes they share ignorance. They feel they know. Don't just cut them off. Listen to them and politely correct them, put them through, change their perception, right? Give them a reason why they should buy, right? If you're able to achieve that, getting customers to like you, like your product, you see that you will be able to convert at least 40% of your sales. The first one is just getting them to know you. That one is converting at least 3 to 2% of your sales. Just customer knowing you, right? You will be able to convert 2 to 3% of your sales. But getting customer to like you, you should be able to convert at least 30 to 40% of your sales. Then the last one is getting customer to trust you. This number 3 is badass. Because at this point you have been able to move your customer from a point of liking you to the point now of trusting you. That is where you want to push them in, because moment you have succeeded in bringing them to that zone of trusting you, they become loyal to you. As a matter of fact, your relationship with them move from business to friend or brother or family relationship, such that some customers can even be inviting you to his or her home for dinner. They can even take you out, they can even have nice time with you, right? Because they had actually trusted you. It is very, very important you listen to this part attentively, right? So number 1 way you can actually achieve that is be a good listener. Pay good attention to whatever your customers is saying. When a customer feels that a seller pays attention to them, they open themselves more to relate more deeper things with that particular sellers, unknowing to them. The more you listen to people, you can practicalize this. The more you listen to people and the person sense that you are giving deep attention, you are paying deep attention to what they are saying, you find that they start saying deeper, they start going deeper, they start even saying things they didn't expect that they will say, because your attention on them is drawing out words from them, is opening them up to relay some things that could be bothering them that they've not even said to anyone, right? You see customer releasing some sensitive things to you. Now at this point, they've actually dropped down their defense system. There's no more defense. It is just them and you. They are sincere, and if you are mature enough to be able to give them a well coordinated and wise advice addressing whatever had been said, because some customer can go personal, they say wow, they will start confiding in you at that point. Now you see that you built relationship in business already. Now listening to them is key to actually win them over, to get them to trust you. Number 2 is that you have to be honest and transparent with them as possible. You have to be sincere with them as possible. Ensure you tell them what your product can do and what your product cannot do. And one way you could actually achieve that is that you put a disclaimer. You ensure you tell them, hey, please, my product cannot do this. My product cannot do this. It cannot do this and it cannot do this, but it will do this. Now, as such, customers feel like, oh, this product is actually designed for this particular purpose, and it will not do this thing. They feel like they feel more trust. They trust you more, and they trust your products more when your product have a certain disclaimer in their mind. They're not expecting your product to be Bobo Moshe, that can do everything. Having seen that your product have disclaimer what it is designed to do, they trust it for that, right? So it is key. Be sincere with them. Be sincere to your customer. Number 3 is that you must be consistent in your promise. If you say your product is going to do this certain thing, it is important that you get your product. It is important that your product deliver accordingly, right? And one way you can actually follow that up is that you show them proof that my product has been tested and trusted. You show them proof from or reviews from customers, some of your previous customers, just to get them to trust the fact that your product has been delivering on its promise. It is very, very important. Number 3 is long-term focus. Don't just sell a certain item, especially if this is a high-ticket product and maybe physical high-ticket products, right? Don't just sell to a customer and make the customer feel like that is the last time they will hear from you. No, a customer wants to know that if this thing I'm buying have any issues, that they will contact, they'll have somebody to talk to. This same way you are talking to me, getting me to like you, getting me to trust you, getting me to buy, right? This same way, don't make me feel like when I now have issues, I'll now be calling you, won't pick my call. The moment they sense that already they feel that you want to manipulate them, even though they know that the products you are selling to them is genuine, right? But moment they sense that your sales to them and the moment they make that purchase, they feel you want to manipulate them into buying, because they sense that there's no long-term conversation and engagement in case the product have an issue, and because of that they will feel reluctant to buy. Ensure you establish that, making them feel that your sales to them is opening a door for an endless relationship. Get that? Number 4 or number next, right, is prompt communication. It is important. If for any reason your customer send you a message or call you, miss the customer's call, or you miss their message, moment you see that, ensure you return the call, apologize for not being reachable for whatever reason you are going to give. Don't just ignore their call. The customer trusts you. When they send message, as the message is landing, you are replying immediately. As the message is landing, you are replying immediately. As it is landing, you are replying immediately. They trust that they can get to you anytime. They can get through to you anytime. At moments they start feeling like that, they will start referring people. the likeness increase. All right, me personally, I feel uncomfortable when I send somebody a message, and if that message is urgent and important, the person did not pick my call, or possibly missed my call, and did not reply my message, possibly wasn't with his or her phone. I feel very bad. I feel very, very bad. As I'm sending, I want it to be replied immediately, me in person. And I'm sure, psychologically speaking, that is how humans are wired, especially those that are busy, right? So it is important that you give them prompt response. Now, number next is offering guarantee. Customer want to know that this thing they are buying has a certain warranty, trusted, such that I won't buy this thing and it will have issues. You tell me that I have to buy another one. They want to trust the fact that this thing I'm buying, right, have a certain warranty. So ensure, create that form of assurance around your product or services, making them feel like, oh, this particular thing I'm giving you, this particular thing you are buying, for the next 2-3 years, forget about it. I am with you. Anything that happens, don't worry. This thing is going to serve its purpose for the next 2-3 years, be it service, be it product. Make them feel that this thing is going to serve its purpose. Now I'm talking about physical product most especially, and mostly high ticket products. Make them feel it's going to serve its purpose. It is important to establish that. And lastly, you give them special offer. Sometimes if it's a digital product, you can give them ebook, you can conduct a webinar training for them, right? Add several additional value content or value courses to whatever they are buying, right? If it's a physical product, you can tell them that, you know what, this thing, I'm going to do it for you. You test it, you use it for days. If it fails, don't pay me. But if it gives you the service you are expecting, then send my money. You've actually win them with that. So these are the 3 metrics that you can use to close sales very, very effectively. If you want to 10x your sales, it is important that you study and you structure your sales, you pattern your sales along this line. If you do that, you see that your sales will 10x. It is very, very important. So with this, I'll be bringing this podcast to an end today. So I remain your host, Onyechi Chukwudi-Paul. And always remember that whatever you do, don't give up, believe in yourself, and keep on showing up. I will see you in the next.